Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Technique Tuesday. Today I want to talk to you about incorporating linoleum stamps into your clay projects. If you took General Fine Arts, then you know that, or you did the project where you carve linoleum and use it to make, to do printmaking projects, to make essentially a stamp that you would then ink and apply to paper. But you can also incorporate this with ceramics. So this is a sheet of linoleum, and I've carved this wavy line pattern in it, and I'm going to add one more line just so I can show you the carving process if you're not familiar with it. But this stuff it's sort of a soft material that you can carve into, and these are the carving tools, and I'm going to use this one right here. So lots of different ways to carve this. You can create all kinds of different designs, but it's a pretty cool process. So I'm going to, this is called a bench hook, and this keeps my hands safe while I am working. So I'm going to carve right up here. I'm just going to add one more line so you can see I can just carve this material away. I always carve away from my body in a safe manner, and that's how you carve the linoleum in order to make a stamp. And I've shown you guys how to use stamps with all kinds of projects this year, all the various textures stamps we have. And with this method, you can create your own design, your own stamp. It doesn't have to be square like this. You could create a strip so that you could create a repeating pattern that you want to put around a decorative edge around your project. You could create a picture. It's actually a really versatile material. And I'm going to set this aside because I'm finished carving, and I've rolled out a slab here. And this is how this works. So I've carved my linoleum, and I have a slab rolled out here, and I'm going to place my linoleum block stamp side down on my slab, and I'm going to roll it just like I would any of the other texture mats. Okay, this stuff doesn't really stick to the clay too badly, so you really don't need that cornstarch that we used earlier in the year. Okay, now before I release it from the clay, I'm going to go ahead and use this edge to cut a nice straight edge on my slab. This one here. Make sure you lift the slab off the mat before you cut. Check that before I commit. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. And you can see that my carving has transferred on to the clay. Let's zoom in so that you can see it even better. So because my stamp has lines carved out, when I press it into the clay, it leaves raised areas. Okay, so that's how you use the stamp on the clay. But now what can you do with that? I could of course cut this out in a different shape, but I have 4 more slabs that I made earlier, and I let them sit out and dry. Or I'm sorry, 3 more slabs. I let them sit out and dry and stiffen up. And now I could use these slabs to create a container. I could also curve them to create a mug or something of that nature. So I'm going to take these slabs and I'm going to go ahead and make a box out of them. Ceramics too, this might be a great idea for your lantern project, to combine the linoleum printing with your lantern design. So I'm going to take a couple minutes and assemble this into a box, and you guys will see what you can do with it. Alright, there you go. Now of course this needs a bottom, but you can see that my stamp texture is on all 4 sides. Okay, so it's identical on all 4 sides, which is kind of a cool effect. And then that's using the linoleum stamps, or making your own stamps to add design to the outside of your project. So if that's something that interests you and you want to talk to me about carving your own stamps to use on your projects, let me know, and I look forward to seeing your work in class.